in some ways, Donald Trump helped to keep the left's imaginary world alive. And he did it by his behavior and by their being able to lie about him, but spin him into the monster of their dreams, right? He gave more black people jobs than any president in history, made sure that the economy was such that it raised people up, but they called him a racist every single day. There's a guy who won NAACP awards. They called him a racist every day. Did the same thing to Giuliani when he was cleaning up New York and saving thousands of black lives. But unlike Giuliani, who had, in his heyday, had a good way, a tough but good way of behaving, Trump had this kind of loose cannon thing that allowed them to cast him in this role, and his behavior on January 6th was bad. I've said it before, I'm saying it again, everybody gets angry at me, but it was bad. You condemn that kind of thing right away. You come out right out of the bat and say, get out of the Capitol, you shouldn't be doing that. He didn't do it. And so he's helped them keep it alive. And I call them the Oompa Loompa left, because whatever you do to them, you remember the Oompa Loompas from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Here was their little song.
Oompa Loompa Doompa-dee-doo, I've got a perfect puzzle for you. Oompa Loompa Doompa-dee-dee, if you are wise, you'll listen to me.
So no matter what you say to the left, you say your philosophy stinks, socialism is immoral, what you've done to black people is a sin that will get you sent to hell, what you've done to the black Americans is absolutely disgusting. Your charity has destroyed their families. It's caused them to become dependent. Your soft on crime attitudes mean they die by murder in their hundreds and thousands. Now they're saying we're not going to hold them to account in terms of reading skills and mathematical skills, so they're not going to educate black children. It's a sin what they've done. They're the same Democratic Party that defended slavery, the same Democratic Party that formed the Ku Klux Klan and started Jim Crow. And you say all those things, they say, Trump-a-dee-doo. The January 6th, Trump said this, Trump did this, he acted like this. So he's helped them keep this world alive. And because of this, because they've been doing such a bad job, and because they are so immoral and so corrupt, and what they've done to our cities is so disgusting, and what they do to our children is so sinful, that it's turned them absurd. The center of this absurdity is the New Atlantic. Now, there's one thing in the Atlantic that I love, which is my sister, Caitlin Flanagan. She's a great writer. She's a terrific writer, and she's in the Atlantic. But she is a holdover from the old days. The Atlantic has gone full woke in a lot of ways. And one of the ways they've gone woke is with this endless series, Wither the GOP. What has happened to the GOP? Jeffrey Goldberg, the editor of The Atlantic, he wrote this big piece, The Crisis in the Republican Party. It is enough to say that the Republican Party's most recent, most catastrophic turn toward authoritarianism, nativism, and conspiracism threatens the republic that it was founded to save. Our cities are trash. Our children are being taught racism. They're being taught pedophilia. But the problem is the Republican Party is discussing where to go in the future. And the Republican Party is discussing that, but at least we're on the same page about what we want. Now, many of you know my title of Lord of the Multiverse. And I couldn't get a nice plaque that showed that I actually own a piece of the multiverse, which of course I do. But I could get a plaque that shows that I own a little piece of Scotland and I am Lord Andrew Klavan. And this is legit. This is legit. Established titles. This comes from Established Titles. It's your opportunity to earn the title of Lord or Lady and gain the respect you deserve. Now, that part hasn't worked for me, but it might work for you. All you need is 1 square foot plot of land in Scotland. Established Titles is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. In your title pack, you'll receive at least 1 square foot of dedicated land on a private estate and an official certificate with a crest. Your certificate, here it is, will include a unique plot number with which you can see the exact location of your land. With this certificate, you could officially change your name to Lord and Lady and get it on your credit card or plane tickets or anything else like that. Established Titles is having a great limited time sale, so go to establishedtitles.com/Klavan to save 10% off today. And remember to use the discount code Klavan or just click the link below. That's establishedtitles.com/Klavan or just click the link below. Shouldn't it be Lord Klavan /Lord Klavan? Well, it's not. It's Klavan. It's KL. They have this guy. This guy is like a parable. And this is going to get a little personal. I don't like to attack people personally, but this time I can't help it. It's David Brooks, New York Times columnist. He's the fake conservative. He was supposed to be the conservative voice of the New York Times. So he's not really a conservative. He never was. And his whole thing, he's writing these series for The Atlantic. Oh, what happened to the Republican Party of my youth? They used to believe in Burke. They used to believe in wonderful things. They had wonderful creases in their pants. You remember this is the guy who interviewed Barack Obama when he was running for president. And he said, I was looking at his pant leg and his perfectly creased pant. And I'm thinking, A, he's going to be president, and B, he'll be a very good president. And I said at the time, why not just elect his dry cleaner? If the crease in his pants is so great, elect the person who gave him the crease in his pants. So this is obviously a very deep political thinker, right? And so he's writing now. He says, I'm now more comfortable in the moderate wing of the Democratic Party. If its progressive wing sometimes seems to have learned nothing from the failures of government and to promote cultural stances that divide Americans, at least the party as a whole knows what year it is. In 1980, the core problem of the age was statism in the form of communism abroad and sclerotic dynamicism sapping bureaucracies at home. Don't have that problem now. In 2021, the core threat is social decay. The danger we should be most concerned with lies in family and community breakdown, which leaves teenagers adrift and depressed, adults addicted and isolated. It lies in poisonous levels of social distrust, in deepening economic and persisting racial disparities that undermine the very goodness of America, in political tribalism that makes government impossible. So let's think about this for a minute, okay? The problem we have now is social decay. We should be most concerned with lies in the family and community breakdown. Now, that has nothing to do with feminism, saying a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. That has nothing to do, which is leftism, right? That has nothing to do with the Great Society pouring money into black communities that essentially subsidized fatherlessness. It basically paid women to have children out of wedlock. It has nothing to do with the free sex that has been pushed upon women as this was going to make them as strong as men. The teenagers are adrift. That has nothing to do with transgender philosophy and telling them they might actually be girls. Has nothing to do with deepening economic and persisting racial disparities that undermine the very goodness of America. Who is building statues to black criminals? The Democrats are. What are the Republicans doing, except even under Donald Trump, who they hate so much, getting him jobs? Now, here's the thing about David Brooks. I know, again, this is personal, but it really burns me up. In his 50s, right? In his 50s, he's writing a book called The Road to Character. That is what it's about. He's been married for 27 years to a woman who converted to Judaism for him, changed her name to Sarah, a more Jewish name, for him. So he's writing The Road to Character, and he's doing some research on Christian heroes with a 29-year-old researcher. Dumps the wife, I hardly have to tell you what happens, right? Converts to Christianity and runs off with the researcher. Now listen, so he's just an ordinary middle-aged schmuck, right? I mean, how many times have you heard these middle-aged guys who suddenly discover that their authentic self, I must find my authentic self with my 20-year-old intern. I must find their authentic self is a little man who lives in their underpants, who suddenly they discover is not as young as he used to be, and they think they're going to find the magic medicine. So far, he's just an ordinary middle-aged schmuck, all right? But here's the thing that gets me. He dumps the wife, changes his religion to the young girl's religion, marries the young girl, and still publishes the book, The Road to Character. That's where he loses me. That's where he loses me. It's like Hillary Clinton delivering her acceptance speech for the presidency. Thank you very much for electing me president. It's like Jussie Smollett telling me he was attacked in a hate crime and actually going on the stand under oath and testifying to this obvious charade. This guy actually publishes The Road to Character and has the temerity, the amazing self-blindness to write an article saying the problem is our social breakdown. Our families are falling apart. So long, honey. It was nice you stuck with me for 27 years. You made my career. So long, baby. Oh yeah, what was I saying? I was saying, oh yeah, the problem. See, we've got to get on the road to character. The road to character, which runs right through my researcher's legs, right between her legs, and is going to take me to that authentic self that I've been living with. We all imagine ourselves as heroes. But some of us have a mirror. right? Some of us have a mirror, and if you convert to Christianity, that mirror can shine, show you some really terrible things about yourself. I remember one of the hardest things about converting to Christianity was that moment when I thought, oh, wait, I get it. I'm not the Superman of my imagination. I'm not the dignified, man full of integrity. I'm a fallen creature and I need help. That is an amazing moment. It is a liberating moment because God's forgiveness is already there. But these guys do not see themselves. So wrapped up are they in this television universe, this meta universe that they're now hoping to suck all of us into, where they'll be flying around, they'll be superheroes, they're going to be owning, make-believe digital artwork. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. You'll never have to touch another person again. Your children won't need you nearby because you'll be nearby in the metaverse. None of that's going to matter. And David Brooks will be a hero, and Hillary Clinton will be president, and Jussie Smollett will be a victim of a hate crime, and it's all going to be absolutely great. Now the question is, what are we going to do to sweep these clowns and their make-believe world away? All right, if you like the content here, you want to subscribe and give us a like. And if you just want to wallow in Klavan-y goodness, go to Apple Podcasts and also subscribe to The Andrew Klavan Show.